Hello all. I want to thank you, Gugman and all the organization for inviting me to Gastromasa and being able to show you what we've been developing with Projeto Materia over the last years, and of course to bring a little bit of Portugal to this beautiful city of Istanbul. We're going to start with a small video that explains what is the project and the philosophy behind it. Vivemos numa época em que estabelecemos com a comida uma relação de absoluta confiança, em que aceitamos tudo o que comemos sem questionar seja o que for. Quantas vezes pensamos na origem dos alimentos que ingerimos? Será que sabemos de onde vêm? Como são produzidos? Como chegam até nós? Quais as paisagens que os encerram? Será que conhecemos quem os produz? As dificuldades por que passam, em que condições o fazem? O trabalho que está implícito? Os produtores são ainda os guardiões do território, do saber fazer, das tradições, dos costumes e, em última análise, da nossa identidade. Queremos que eles façam parte do processo diário da nossa cozinha, da nossa aprendizagem, da nossa filosofia e da mensagem que queremos transmitir. Para que isto aconteça, temos que ir ao seu encontro e percorrer de norte a sul o nosso país. Estar dispostos a passar tempo e perceber o que fazem e como o fazem. O projeto Matéria é sobre criar conhecimento, é sobre procura, é sobre saber parar e contemplar, é sobre a importância do tempo, é sobre partilha, é sobretudo sobre as pessoas. Este é um espaço que queremos que seja para todos, construído por todos. So, to give a little context, Portugal is a not very big country, 900 kilometers from south to north, 250 wide, 10 million people living, and 50% of this population is concentrated in the area of Porto and Lisbon, the two major cities. So this means that the interior is completely desertified, and that creates issues of production, logistics, and of course, a huge lack of information. So with this in mind, when we started in 2015 wondering about an idea of identity for our own restaurant, Feitoria, we started to, wanted to support this whole idea with Portuguese products. Not only autochthonous, but a Portuguese made product. So the first questions that we made to different chefs around the country were, where can I find these products and these producers? How can I get them? And of course, when is the best time to get them? And surprisingly, we understood that everybody had the same difficulty of finding clean product and made in an ethical way and with very specifications. So we decided to travel, and we went north to south, crossing the country, looking for these providers and producers. Of course, we made a lot of mistakes with some of them, but we started to find few of them. So one thing is, of course, to talk about this. Another thing is to implement this every day in your restaurant. So we had to create different dynamics of service in order to work with what is available. So we have direct contact with the producers, and they tell us what to work with. So this was really important, and this is how it borns the idea of Materia. It started as a menu in the restaurant where we could transport the histories of the stories that we learn with the producers, because when we visit them, of course, you get to know a lot of things that you didn't know. So we tried to bring this to the table. We would show the product raw, and then people would get a better connection to the product when we would serve the plate. In 2017, we started to think, because a lot of people started to calling me, asking me if I could get the contacts of these producers. So how could we make some platform that could share information with everybody? By doing this, we would create value in the whole chain, and we'd be facilitating much more the life of all of the chefs and people at home as well. So in 2018, we started with Materia dinners. We invited a lot of chefs, and the idea was to bring an international chef, take him for 4 days to a different region with a local chef, and we would find different producers, and then we would bring those products and producers to the restaurant, and we'd make a dinner in order to make and capture attention to everybody about this issue. In 2019, me and my wife, Vanya, we started to design the website. And we were sure about what we wanted. We wanted something clean, very easy to handle, and very visual. And in 2020, we were finally online, but 15 days after we put it online, we were completely locked down with this pandemic. But it was good to see that the site offered a plan B for these producers, because once we were sharing their contacts and where to get them, they were able to sell at home, and not only for restaurants like they were used to. So how does it work, the site, and how we plan to design it? So it's really simple. Not a lot of labels, you know. We have the farmers, a calendar, a community, and regions. So one of the things that are most important for us is that everybody can share and everybody can participate on building this. So if someone has an information about a specific product or producer, he can send us a message, and then we organize a trip in order to visit them. You can search it for product or even for region, which helps if you are in a determined region. you can choose and see what kind of producers are in your area, or a much wider search. But for me, the best way to look into the project and the site is to scroll down and up and try to find each of these windows that opens to a new story, to a new person, to a completely different way of producing things. And of course, if you look at it, you see that you are traveling across the country. So to show you how it works, we have one of these producers that we're going to open the page in order to explain you how it's built, and you're going to see that's quite simple. We have an authorial text about the producer, of course, different images, and we have, the most important, we have all the contacts. So you have the number, and now to get there. If you click there, you go immediately to a map which leads you to the producer. And we have also the people that introduced us. In this case, is a chef from Santarém, and we connect directly to the page of his restaurant in order to create interest and kind of a community which everybody feels responsible and they want to work together in order to build something better for everyone. So this is the map. Like I told you, if you open one of these things, you can go directly to the producers. And we have also a calendar of products, because I understand that it's really good to go with seasons. We have very good weather in Portugal, so we have very fresh products all year long. And we just have to go according to the seasons in order to get the best ones. So this is good as well for someone that is starting or doesn't know the best seasons to get which product. How do we use it in the restaurant? So I'm going to show you 3 specific cases. How can we connect with the producer, and using his environment, we create something for the restaurant. So we have 3 plates. All of them, ones are more older than others, but they have the same philosophy behind it. So one producer, the first producer is Célia. She's from Santarém, and she breeds oysters. So I'm going to ask to see the video of Célia. If you can put the video so we learn a little bit more of what she does. Can you put the first video? Okay.
Elas entraram aqui com 20 gramas, não é? E agora já tenho ostras aqui com 110 gramas e temos que separá-las e tirá-las para não crescer demais. Acontece que algumas ficam coladas, mas quando forem fortes conseguimos destroncá-las. Olha, aqui temos uma ostra colada. Na natureza isto acontece imenso, elas estão como cachos de uvas, porque precisam da tal superfície sólida para se colar, e o que se faz é descolar. Existe um aparelho que é um destroncador, às vezes quebram-se, estas estavam ótimas de destroncar. A riqueza destes espaços é tanta que também crescem aqui 4 macroalgas. O fucus, todas boas para a alimentação. A gracilária, esparguete do mar, e falta aqui o códium e a ulva, que são também 2 espécies que aqui se dão. Vou cortar, eu vou abrir. Portanto, esta ainda está meio pequenita, mas já dá para ver que é uma ostra que se come.
So this is an area of huge rice plantations, and Celia built his herb production around a old production of salt, deactivated. So in the banks of this production, we have a lot of halophytes and salicornia, samphire, and of course the oysters. So these are the three elements that we're going to use for the dish, and we plan it like this. So there's a lot of dishes in Portugal of rice. Portugal is the #1 country per capita that feeds out of rice, and we have a lot of dishes traditionally with rice, and nobody knows it. We can think about Italy, we have risotto, Spain, paella, but Portugal, nobody knows it. So the idea was to make a rice of burnt samphire and with a slightly poached oyster and seaweed, because River Sado runs the opposite way. It runs from the sea to the inland, so that we get a lot of seaweed. This is the final look of the dish, and somehow we try to portray the environment. The second case, we go from river to the ocean, and it's about a fantastic not a producer, but a provider in the Algarve. So, second video, please.
Eu costumo dizer que o Algarve é um triângulo dourado. Porquê? Porque ele combina as espécies do Atlântico Norte, águas mais frias, com espécies da Norte da África, e também estamos muito perto da entrada do Mediterrâneo. Portanto, temos desde o robalo, do pregado, do linguado, que são espécies normalmente de águas mais frias do Atlântico Norte. Temos depois espécies como a lagosta, como o cherno, que é uma espécie de mero, mais próprios normalmente da África. E, por sua vez, temos uma série de hesparídeos da família da dourada, que são os besugos, as ferreiras, as chopas, que são muito próprias também do Mediterrâneo. Portanto, combinamos o melhor do Mediterrâneo com o melhor do Norte da África, com o melhor do Atlântico Norte. É uma espécie de triângulo dourado, acrescido ao facto de ter aqui uma ria muito interessante, que é a Ria Formosa, onde crescem bivalves, ameijos, as ostras. Portanto, combinamos uma região, uma costa que tem desde a profundidade deste sítio onde estamos, que é Sagres, até à zona mais plana, mais areosa, do Sotavento Algarvio, que tem muita areia e onde crescem muitos bivalves e, por consequência, onde se aproximam também espécies de grande porte, como é o atum-rabilho. Ou seja, ainda temos a cereja no topo do bolo, que é o atum-rabilho, a passar à frente da nossa costa. Portanto, uma combinação mágica de espécies, uma enormidade, uma diversidade muito grande. Não temos uma grande abundância em termos de quantidade, mas temos de facto uma diversidade muito interessante do ponto de vista gastronómico, do ponto de vista biológico. É um prazer para quem gosta de peixe, espécies marinhas, para quem gosta de comer. É um prazer poder estar aqui nesta região, viver ou visitar.
For this one, we have, of course, the tuna. For the next dish, of course, the tuna, beautiful tuna from old Almadraba near Olhão. And we have cockles from the beautiful river between the land and the ocean. So with these two elements, we try to make a dish very simple, but we try to bring the fat from the tuna and the smokiness of the stock and the iodine from the cockles, and to create a very nice complement. So this is the final look of the dish, And when we present it, we try to explain what the almadraba is and where the tuna comes from and the cockles as well. Third and last is completely the opposite side on the inland. So we're going to meet Francisco and what he has to tell us about his regenerative production. Third video, please.
Mas a ideia é criar uma dinâmica de pastoreio com diferentes espécies de raças autóctones, bovinos, caprinos, suínos. Temos o porco alentejano, a cabra serpentina, o merino preto português e trabalhamos também com vacas martelengas, que depois fazemos o cruzamento com a Angus. Essa dinâmica de pastoreio torna-nos um bocadinho mais eficazes na produção, com menos desperdícios, porque o que é o desperdício de um pastoreio para um bovino é um aproveitamento para um ovino, o que é uma infestante, como o caso das silvas, também é um aproveitamento para um caprino, e toda essa rotação e essa dinâmica faz com que o aproveitamento de todo o sistema seja muito mais eficaz. Há muitos criadores aqui nesta zona de Montemor Novo, onde se cria pecuária extensiva das diferentes espécies de animais, os bovinos, caprinos, ovinos, os suínos também de raça alentejana, que fazem a montanheira. E é a principal atividade de toda esta região. É o mundo rural no Alentejo e que, como vocês podem ver, tem esta biodiversidade toda. Temos o dever de o manter e de o melhorar.
So, for the last one, this is all about balance, and for me, the best way of getting a healthy food is to know where it comes from, and somehow you can go along with the process and gets to know the person who does it. So we made a dish, this is the oldest dish we have here in the three, and we made a dish all about balance. So we're gonna have a piece of meat and a vegetable, and somehow we incorporated this in a very cultural tradition in Portugal, which is the slaughter of the pig, which is very bloody and it scares people away. But we try to make it that in a very balanced way. So what we did is, these are the three elements we're going to have: pork, lettuce, and peppers. In Alentejo, where the pork are, it's very traditional to make a pepper paste, fermented pepper paste, to season all the smoked sausages and the pork meat. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook artist lettuce, because when the day of the slaughter happens, the first thing that we eat are the insides and the heart. So we're going to grill a lettuce heart, a vegetable heart, and we're going to season it like it was meat with this pepper paste. And then we're going to serve it with pork meat, of course, and a slightly smoked sauce with a little bit of blood, which is morcella. So this is how it looks the last, and the idea is to resemble and to remember the slaughter of the pig, but the blood is vegetable, it's beetroot. So these are three examples of what we do in the restaurant, trying to bring a little bit of the traditions and the closeness to the producers. The future, as we see it, we want to do more than just producers. We want to congregate a lot of people, artisans, grocery shops, enology, gastronomic events, editorial projects, in order to make the project a tool that everybody can use, and mainly the younger generations, so they cannot have to pass the same that we already did. So they have a lot of information here, and they can build on it. So we started to do several events, but in another way. Now we don't bring people to the comfort of the restaurant. We take people to cross the country and to make events on the producer's land. So people feel and know what they actually go through and the difficulties that they have. These are a few examples of something that we did. There are no rules. It can be for children. It can be a lunch. It can be late lunch, dinner. And we just want to have fun, and at the same time can share something with the people that visit us for those events. In the future, we want this to be a physical space, and we would like to be open to the community where we are and make some impact, you know, work together with that community. And of course, these projects started very product-wise, but now it's completely people-wise. So for us, people matter more because the product is an extension of the producer, of what he is as a person. So to finish my presentation, I want to pay a little homage to these producers and these beautiful people that are really passionate about what they do. They have a strong compromise with themselves to be better. And we have to understand that they don't have weekends, vacation. They go out if it's raining, if it's sun, if it's cold, if it's hot, if the waves are too big or too small. And they do it because they love what they do. And we owe them. Not even a pandemic can stop them. So we owe them being able to do what we love in our profession, that is cook. So we're going to finish with some of them, and thank you. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon in Lisbon. Bye.